Welcome, or welcome back, to Becoming Stoic. In this moment, we'll discuss 6 pieces of Stoic wisdom that are powerful tools for finding happiness. Oddly enough, people have enormous respect for ancient wisdom. Sadly, they just don't read it. The funny thing is, we're more likely to live happier lives when we visit the classics section than when visiting the self-help aisle. So, what can men who lived thousands of years ago teach us about living well today? Let's get to it. Events don't upset you. Beliefs do. For example, if you got dumped by someone you were totally in love with, would you feel sad? Probably so. You might feel as if the world was going to end. Now, imagine the same scenario, but afterwards you find out that person was actually a psychopath, who killed their last 3 partners. Would you still feel sad that you got dumped? Probably not. In fact, you'd probably be thrilled. So clearly getting dumped isn't the important factor here. What changed? Nothing but your beliefs. In another example, if you lost your job, and believed it was a lousy position, and that it wouldn't be hard for you to get a better job, you would be unfazed. However, if you believed it was the greatest job ever and that you'd never get another one that good, you would probably be devastated. Emotions aren't random. They flow from beliefs. Skeptical. Sound too simple. Guess what? You couldn't be more wrong. This part of Stoic philosophy was adapted by famed psychologist Albert Ellis to form cognitive behavioral therapy. It is now the dominant method for helping people overcome problems ranging from depression to anxiety to anger. Most of the bad feelings you have are caused by irrational beliefs. The next time you're feeling negative emotions, don't focus on the event that you think caused them. Ask yourself what belief you hold about that event. And then ask yourself if it's rational. If my partner dumps me, I'll never get over it. If I lose my job, my life is over. If I don't finish watching this video, the creator will hate me forever. Only the third one is true. The other 2 are irrational. And that's why you get anxious, angry or depressed. Revise your beliefs and you can change your feelings. Like, even if they dump me, I can meet someone else. It's happened before and I got over it. So you're revising your beliefs to overcome sadness and anger. Awesome. But what about when you're unhappy because you're worried about the future? Control what you can. Ignore the rest. Do you know the Serenity Prayer? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Reinhold Niebuhr came up with it around 1934. The Stoics, however, were preaching that basic idea about 2,000 years earlier. The Stoics were really big on control. But they were not what we today would call control freaks at all. A key part of Stoicism is just asking yourself, can I do anything about this? If you can, do it. If you can't, then you can't. But worrying achieves nothing but stress. The next time you find yourself worrying, pause and ask yourself, do I have control over this? If you do, stop worrying and get to work. If you don't have control, worrying won't make it better. And going back to the first point, it might be a good idea to ask yourself what your belief is that's causing all this worry. There is a good chance that it is irrational. Sadness, anger, and worrying are irrational responses, and they are not particularly helpful ways to react when things happen. So what is the right way to react to things that don't meet your expectations? Accept everything. But don't be passive. This is the one that most people have trouble with. No one likes the word accept. We think it means give up. It doesn't. Let's look at it this way. What's the opposite of accept? Deny? As in, denial. And no one ever recommends denial. Albert Ellis told people that they would be much happier if they removed the word should from their vocabulary. Should is denial. You're saying that your expectations deserve to override reality. My kids shouldn't be misbehaving. News flash, they are. Traffic shouldn't be this bad. But it is. It shouldn't be raining. But it is. Denial is irrational, and as we just learned, irrational beliefs are where negative emotions come from. So the first step is to accept reality. But that doesn't mean you have to be passive. You accept the rain. It's here. Denial and shoulda, coulda, wouldas won't change anything. But that doesn't mean that you can't grab an umbrella. Next time things don't go your way, don't deny reality. Accept it. It's here. Then ask if you have control over it. If you do, do something. If you don't, ask if your beliefs are rational. That's how you go from "it shouldn't be raining. We can't go to the park. The day is ruined" to "yes, it's raining. No park today. Let's see an awesome movie instead." Alright, so far we've covered a lot of Stoic methods for beating bad feelings. That covers defense. Now, let's talk offense. How do you improve your life? Choose whose child you will be. Everything we've talked about so far happens in your head. And, as we learned, that's where the problems usually start. But if life is going to get better, we need to learn from other people. You are not alone in this world. You have so much to learn from others. For instance, Seneca, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, said, quote, "We like to say that we don't get to choose our parents, that they were given by chance. Yet, we can truly choose whose children we wish to be." It has been proven time and time again that the first step in being better at anything, and that includes life, is to find a mentor. So the next time you face a challenge, think of someone you admire. Research shows that asking yourself, "What would blank do?" can have powerful positive effects on your behavior. Role models and mentors are great for helping you be your best. But, how do you make sure that you are actually improving? How do you know you're making progress toward being the best you? Morning and evening rituals are essential. Plenty of research shows that rituals can really improve your life. What type did the Stoics recommend? Morning rituals and evening rituals. One to get you ready for the day, and the other to reflect on how things went and figure out ways to improve. The Stoics didn't believe in perfection. They felt we were all a work in progress. You can always be getting better. As Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." So far, we've learned a lot of ancient wisdom. Let's round it out, and get the final tip that science agrees is one of the most powerful happiness boosters in existence. You've probably heard it before, especially if you subscribe to this channel, and you will most certainly hear it again. Are you ready? Gratitude. In his classic book, Meditations, Marcus Aurelius starts out in a surprising way. He mentions all of the people who he feels indebted to for having helped him. It is basically a gratitude list. The Stoics were big on gratitude. In fact, in Meditations, he wrote, "Don't set your mind on things you don't possess as if they were yours, but count the blessings you actually possess, and think how much you would desire them if they weren't already yours." A few thousand years later, research would catch up with the philosopher. Studies show that mentally subtracting cherished moments from your life makes you appreciate them more, makes you grateful, and makes you happier. You don't need that shiny new thing in order to smile. Take a second to appreciate all the shiny things you already have, that aren't so new. New is overrated. Sometimes, one or two ideas, from thousands of years ago, are all we need to find happiness.